Right, I'm gonna struggle to look into the camera, so yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. Hi, right. So I thought we'd do this in a bit of a different way. I can't stop looking at myself. Basically, I thought I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to see how many media terms, like technical terms and things I can come up with, and try to explain what that's doing in an action. And this action is the Cornucopia Bloodbath scene from the Hunger Games. I don't know if you can see that. Does this work? Beauty bloggers do it all the time. No, just too much light. If that's, like, focus on that instead. Yeah. Cool. So I'm just gonna watch it and see how many of these I can find. As Katniss goes into the tube, it cuts to a silence. There is no sound, no diegetic or a non-diegetic, so we can basically hear nothing, and we are immediately supposed to assume that that is what Katniss can hear. Katniss can hear nothing. She can't hear Cinna on the other side, and so this allows us to feel closed and captured with her, and they would commonly do this in action because it kind of creates the build-up, because especially the Cornucopia scene, which is like one of the bloodiest scenes in the whole film, it's like the part with the most action, so they tried to create this whole closed off tension, so that as it rises when she goes out there, and we're about to see that, so it lures the audience into a sort of fake calm, and a lot of action films would tend to do that before the worst part of all the action, like the most of all the action, to try and create that. The camera work as Katniss enters the arena is quite shaky, and it's supposed to represent her eye line, so it's like looking around, and the audience can see what the arena is, and initial reactions the audience will be able to empathize with Katniss better, because they are essentially looking through her point of view, and the camera moves quickly and at very strange angles, and we're looking around and we're looking at exactly what draws her attention first. So she looks straight at the Cornucopia, which contains all the weapons, and then we're able to see what she's looking at, maybe try to understand what she's thinking. She might be thinking of going towards the weapons, or perhaps not, but we can see that the weapons are on her mind, and she's probably weighing up whether or not to go towards the Cornucopia, and we as an audience are able to see that in that shaky camera work. But also, because it's shaky, it shows how nervous she is, which again represents how there is about to be a build-up of like a lot of action, and so then we also feel nervous with Katniss. It can lighten. The camera continues to pan very quickly up and down to various characters, but before we can actually look at the characters, it will switch away. So this kind of shows how impersonal it is towards all these characters, and it suggests that most of them are going to die in what's about to happen, because they're just not relevant enough. You don't get to see their faces. We don't ever learn their names in the film. Also, because of how shaky it is, we can kind of see how scared they all are, and that's another common thing they do in actions when they're trying to create a sense of fear in the characters. The camera work can really show how afraid everyone is. Oh, also, they break the 180 rule several times when the camera spins, because it's on one side of Katniss, and then it will go to someone else on a completely different side, and then go back to a different side of Katniss. So it breaks the 180 rule, which allows the audience to feel completely uneasy, and it will literally terrify you as you have no idea what's about to happen next. In this countdown, the audio is originally detached from the person who's saying it, so the audience can't see who's saying it, and it's very deep and voice, and it sounds quite automated, but then a few seconds in it switches to the person who's actually counting it down, and you can see that it's quite a young boy. He's like, looks about 18 to be honest, and you can hear his own voice in the background, and it shows the audience how heartless the society is, in that they've got people almost as young as their contestants in there, like, helping to put all these people to death, and it can kind of show the audience. It creates sides on how the director wanted a certain party to be viewed, so in this case the Capitol. So they would have done this to kind of show how heartless the Capitol can be, and that other people really lack empathy, and even though it could have very easily been in the same situation as the children in the arena, they're not, because of how lucky they were to be born in the Capitol. But this again will like have the audience side with the people in the districts, and they'll have sympathy on them rather than the Capitol, because they'll be able to see how cruel the Capitol is and how people don't like think about other people. So that's what, like, and you can hear this boy's voice as he says it, as well as the automated version of it, which kind of shows how he is shadowed in the whole system of the Capitol, and that even though we can't really blame him because he didn't make the rules, the audience will learn that he is just another part of the games, and he is like another one of the pieces putting it all together, so to speak. The celebrating of the people in the Capitol really juxtaposes with the next scene of people in the districts just looking really solemn and sad, because obviously their children, their friends, their family are all like about to start the Hunger Games, and it shows about how cruel the Capitol is, and how they don't realise like what they're doing is the effect it has on people, and how it's essentially killing children. And but then in the districts it kind of shows how they do understand, because it is their children. Also, the bright colours in the Capitol contrast to the very dull greys, browns seen in the districts, because the districts are kind of in mourning, whereas the Capitol is having a celebration, and it just shows like the different perspectives on the same situation. This sound, I'm not quite sure how to describe this score. But it's a way of muting all the violence that's actually happening in the scene. So this is essentially the scene where like most of the children in the arena get killed. But it kind of, they've put this soundtrack on it because it's just such a violent and bloody scene that people can honestly see how gruesome it is, and you don't really need to hear it. It creates the effect, and it might make it seem more gruesome than it actually is. I don't know if there is a way that it can be more gruesome, but it makes it seem more gruesome because you can't even hear it. So you think about how much they're trying to hide from you, that they can't show it, they can't have it. Listen, another reason that they may have done this is simply laws on the guidance, because I think this film is 12, and with the sound in, it would probably have to be pushed up to 15, if not 18. So they had to be wary of laws in there to keep it a 12 rated film. Also in that scene, they mostly use a lot of shaky camera work, probably to show like the disarray that's going on and just how dismal everything is in the scene, because you can't really see what's going on because the camera's moving so much. It's literally like this. the whole thing. Too close, yeah. It's like that in the whole thing. Making it really difficult to see what's going on. You can just about see everyone's facial expression. Everyone just looks scared and angry and just wants to get out of there, because you can obviously see that the characters just want to survive. Yeah. As Katniss runs further away from the Cornucopia, the sound returns gradually and gets louder and louder as we can hear her crashing through bushes and things, and that kind of shows how the worst of it is over now. We can go back to natural sound and more natural beings as she's like run further into the woods, and that humming before that humming score is like fading away now, so that we can't really hear it anymore, and we begin to try to leave the bloody mess of the Cornucopia behind. So yeah, so that's how this particular scene in the Hunger Games has used various features to try and really create an action scene. Thanks for watching.